Restaurant India, I take the pleasure of welcoming all of you to the Restaurant India Conference and Awards Mumbai edition. And when I say Mumbai edition, I put a little emphasis there because, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 11th edition. But we hold this summit, we hold these awards and sessions and editions with a vision in mind. And that vision is to bring the industry closer as we learn, as we share, as we build an ever-powerful restaurant industry of India. And now I would like to invite Ms. Ritu Maurya, the Editor-in-Chief of Franchise India Group, to please join us on the podium for the welcome note and sharing with you more about today's conference. Ritu, please come on the stage.
Hello everyone, and a very, very good evening to you, and a very warm welcome to the restaurant fraternity who've joined us. Thank you very much for joining us. This is really your industry and your event, and therefore whatever we're going to discuss today and whatever we'll talk about today is really more to do with how we can make this industry better, what we can do more to bring better practices. So I would like to make a point on being more data-driven so that we can be more, optimize our restaurants a lot better. You need to be able to first collect data, not just at the front of the house, but also at the back of the house, to understand how you can bring more efficiencies into your kitchen, bring more efficiencies in terms of your people in your tables and turnaround of your tables. And I think this is one practice which has started happening, and of course the delivery kitchen. And this is some understanding, some learnings that we need to take from the cloud kitchens itself, because they've really mastered the art of if you see pure play dark kitchens, they rely very heavily on their data. And there's not a single day that goes by when Zomato doesn't prompt me at least thrice a day to have coffee, have tea, have chaat, it's raining, have Maggie. Today we have some great panels, some great restaurateurs, great delivery kitchen leaders who are coming here and talking about, what and how the industry should plan their way forward. And I hope you have a great evening. And of course, the restaurant award themselves, where we recognize people. We look forward to a great evening with you. And cheers to Mumbai, the spirit never dies.
What is the consumer of today expecting when they step out, right? What is the, your perspective on the new normal as well as the choices? Consumer is spoiled by choices these days, right? So what's your perspective to this whole new consumer that is emerging in India?
Hi. So it's really interesting. I think that a consumer today is really looking out to go to just have a great time. They want to go to places where they can consistently believe that, they can go back to a brand and they can expect a consistent experience all the time. And I think they're really looking for experiences that they can go with their families, or they can have a day out with their pets, or an experience for the kids. So it's become very experience-based dining at the same time, and I think it's become very focused on cuisine-specific dining as well. Earlier on, restaurants would aim to do everything on their menu, but now you can really see, the sort of the flurry of restaurants that are opening, is that everybody is trying to, showcase a certain experience, or, showcase or talk about a certain concept. And I think that's what consumers are looking for. They're really looking for concept dining, experiential dining, where they can, go with their pets or family for date night.
These new age restaurants, right, that we call, Aditi just told us that they are looking for different experiences, concepts, right? How are these new age restaurants discovering themselves, to cater to these consumer behaviors and changing needs? And also, how do you elevate the guest experience as you go along?
Of course. Thanks, Rajat. So I first of all feel that the customer today is a lot more aware of what's happening globally. With the access that the digital media has given to every customer, they are practically living an experience abroad, sitting at their homes in India today. And what they expect is that now when they go out to dine in a local restaurant, they can somewhere sort of compare their experience over here to what they have seen online, right? So with this, the expectation of the customer today has really grown. and which every restaurateur is now trying to, sort of elevate the experience that they can provide to them. So that is sort of the kind of shift that has now come into the restaurant industry. In terms of rediscovering or sort of reinventing the wheel that restaurateurs are now trying to do, it has happened in multiple phases. Let it be the food, and then moving on to the food, even something as simple as the way the food has been plated or the way the food is being served. Over and above the F&B that the restaurant provides, what additional experience in terms of music or some sort of performances or some sort of engaging activity for the customer can they bring in, on the table.
It's a conflict between what consumers are ready to pay for a product, and there is always a limit to that. So, and India, let's face it, I think Bombay may be a very different market when you look at India as a whole. Your average order value will be substantially higher out here, and maybe a Delhi in that sense. But other places, there is a challenge. So, the challenge becomes as a operator of a business, how do you manage all these costs in the value chain? Okay, now to your question of commoditization, and I think so again, there are two schools of thought, and it's not about right or wrong. It's about what is the vision, what is the aspiration for the business you are building it out. Now, if you are a chef, you're running a business, I think circle everything around yourself as a brand. Okay, absolutely go and do that. And become the anchor of that whole ownership. But if you are building scale, I think then the dynamics just completely shift. Okay, and again, this is our philosophy. This is what we have been following through over the last 6 years. We believe that brands, what you say versus what you deliver, what you experience as a consumer, right? I think our ability, let's take an example. I think there are large brands like Starbucks or McDonald's, or Burger King, you go across the world, you just see them and subconsciously something connects. It's like this price, this product, this. So I think that relationship brands need to build as a food business. For us, it's about, can we deliver you the same food over and over again, over a longer period of time, across distribution points? Can I deliver that to you when you order from us? Now, if I cannot do that, I don't think, that's our thesis, I think we will not be able to build a brand.
So,
okay.
So are you suggesting, and I love this, okay, so are you suggesting that to decommoditize your brand, you need to commoditize the experience?
No, so let's look at it. We operate in a category, we operate in now 2 categories. Okay, larger one for us is biryani as a category. It's a very commoditized business. When we even started, it was a very commoditized business. It used to come in container, oil dipping. You had a curd which was in a polythene. It was very, I think, very uncomfortable to eat in an office, right? So there's no competition about you replacing burger or a pizza because they used to come in box, you open, eat, shut. So how do you, it's a commodity, right? So how do you first step forward and say, listen, how do I give consumer an experience that they should think in a boardroom they can call for a biryani? Now it should first move as a product into nice, I call it the 5 senses. It should first appeal to me, my visual sense. Right? And then you have to deliver that experience, elevate that experience over to the next level. Now, the brands who are able to do that, carry that forward, okay, are the ones who will become large. Okay, and I'm talking from a very, I think, contextual point of view that our aspiration is to build scale. Okay.
McDonald's of the world.
Yeah, so to scale, that's where so you build it, and our thesis is get the food right, get the experience right, just keep hammering it, just doing it. It's a boring business. Keep doing it every day in, day out. Now, if you continue delivering that to consumers, consumers become your best brand ambassador. Okay, we are in a food business at the end of the day. Okay. Now, all the other things are just a layers to elevate the brand, right? Instagram, Twitter, images, everything. My image might be great, but if my food comes with sucks, now, come on, you will say, listen, what is shown, what is coming is very different, right? So for us, it's always about the food.
What kind of challenges you have faced since you have a very specific cuisine? So average order value is a very challenging, part in home delivery. So how are you overcoming this challenge?
Okay, so it's the biggest challenge the industry faces. Okay, And that's why I touched upon the ability from a consumer side to pay money, right? So our average order value it's reasonably good. We are at 600 rupees now, okay? So that allows us to really just play out through the value chain. And specifically, we started as focused on this category, but we are moving towards a multi-brand platform. So we already have launched 2 more brands, and we'll be launching a few more as we go ahead. And I think my request is, as a food entrepreneurs, if you're looking at it, I think in the delivery space, cloud kitchen, because that's what you will do, ensure that your average order value is above 500 rupees. Otherwise, you will find it very difficult to sustain this business.
So we've been talking about building brands in the food service industry. I come from a brand that I'm assuming is as close to all of you as me, which is the House of Maggie. We've all grown with it. We all have our Maggie stories. A 150-year-old organization, that's what Nestle stands for, being the largest food and beverage FMCG company. And in India, I don't know if you guys know, it's already more than 100-year-old as an organization. Little do people know that there is a part of Nestle which is actually catering to the needs of the HoReCa segment, which is called Nestle Professional. The way we've stood for consumers, understanding their needs, standing for good food, good quality, understanding their pain points, being for them, that's what we're trying to do for the HoReCa segment as well. So who we exactly are? As I said, we are the people who are responsible for working with you with food solutions, with beverage solutions, catering to the needs of the emerging trends, standing for quality, continuing to work with you, understanding your pain points, helping you standardize, helping you evolve, and while retaining your chef's magical touch as well. What exactly is Maggie Professional? What does it really stand for? We're trying to create a range which is delivery friendly, because we all understand, being in the dine-in segment, there has been always a role of creating an experience for the consumer. But when it comes to delivery, there are a lot of things to be taken care of. Thank you so much.
I would like to start off by briefly introducing our company. Gupshop basically is a CPaaS company or a messaging company. So we enable you with the tools to reach out to your customers and to interact with them. We are a US-based company. And we've been in this business for about 15 years now. We've been fortunate enough to work with some of the biggest brands that we have out here. Like you can see, we work across verticals. When it comes to F&B, Swiggy and Zomato are some of our prominent customers. We work with the biggest banks. We talk about Citibank, you talk about HDFC, you talk about Paytm, Book My Show. We are fortunate enough to empower all these guys with our messaging. We process more than 9 billion messages per month, dealing with more than 45,000 customers. Exciting time to be in this sphere. This has been growing tremendously. You can see the projected revenues by 2026 is about 530 million. The current projection for 2022 is $14 billion. So these are facts that we're all aware with. Would like to highlight this to you. So now this is pretty much the solutions that we would like to come up with here. So you see, what we believe in is that instead of making your customers reach out to you, you should be present wherever your customers are. You know, it can be across these various messaging channels. So we guys deal with more than 30 messaging channels across the board. The more prominent one being, of course, WhatsApp, Instagram, SMS. But we're there on Facebook, we're there on Twitter, we're there on KIK, you name the channel, and we guys can get you presence out there.
There are today multiple ways where this expansion can come from. It may not necessarily only mean that you have to go and expand your own brand in every city, but it could mean that, you know, you could do collaborations. There are opportunities for going to the stock market. You can raise venture capital funding and or more what is you call as a phygital kind of a business model today. So they're not too far away from you know, tech players in that sense. And
so if you look at right now, most of the money is chasing towards the logistic companies, right? I mean, where do you put Zomato or Swiggy? I would say they are not a food companies, but a delivery companies. So basically, most of this unicorns or the money which is flowing is basically solving the logistic issue in this country. And with a food-specific point, what is happening here is that, still in India, even at this point of time, I don't know whether we lack aspiration or we really lack funding. I mean, I would say the first, because funding is a function of the idea. If the idea is big enough, money comes to you, right?
Right.
The point is that you look at India demography, and probably you can find that McDonald's or the Zomato delivering possibly, your Jubilant Food Works, Domino's, etc., everywhere. But you won't find an Indian brand itself which got manufactured somewhere, let's say in Delhi or Mumbai or wherever, and able to capture the entire, country. It still has not happened as we speak.
Yeah.
And that should be the ultimate focus point. And therefore, for a VC, if they have to bet, they have to look at market.
Right.
Right? How fast can you grow? How well is your processes laid out? And whether you are having that consistency in your operations. In the restaurant business, that is something which you can't achieve itself if you're operating in multiple locations and multiple cities, and that's what the efficiency is, the question mark.
Do you think for the restaurant industry, it makes a lot of sense to look at the IPO as an investment route for growth? And what stature, what structure should these IPOs have, and at what point of time should a restaurant brand think of it?
Sure. So an IPO is effectively a way of raising capital from the market. There are various avenues to raise capital. You can raise it from private equity. You can raise it from venture capitalists. You can raise it from debt as well. For an IPO, I think the critical part is scalability of the business, which would resonate very well with what Nandini was mentioning, that you need to have the ability to replicate the model and go beyond the personality of the founder. That's a prerequisite in a way, because the public market investors are looking for a model that can continue to grow over a period of time. Attract good quality investors in an IPO, you need to have, let's say, a minimum size of 500 crores of an IPO, which would mean that at 25% dilution, you're talking about 2,000 to 2,500 crores of market cap. That's only possible if you are at least a $100 million company in top line. And if you assume on an average 10 to 15% kind of margins, you are reaching somewhere close to 100 crores of EBITDA as well. So that's the first part of it, the current scale as well as the scalability of that business going forward.
We are, at the end of the day, whatever we say, we are people put together, and we are a business that's sort of driven and run by passion. And that's not going to change. And I don't let that change, right? It is always going to be a business where you have good days and bad days, and we're always going to be as good as our last service or as the last dish that came on the counter. And we are different. And it is not pressing the same button and getting the same coffee every time. That is the nature of our business, and it's okay to be different. And I think we should take pride in being different as a business set and embrace it and move forward. That's all. And I think all of us sitting here, if we wouldn't have embraced it, we wouldn't have come on the other side of COVID smiling and with business looking better than it was pre-COVID. So.
Best Cafe Chain of the Year, and the award goes to Baithak, Taste of Kullar, India's leading Kullar coffee chain. Best Thali Restaurant of the Year, and the award goes to Maharaja Bhog. Congratulations to Maharaja Bhog. Is the best debutante restaurant of the year, and the award goes to Subaki, Sensory Indulgence Unlocked. Best Gastro Pub of the Year, award goes to Dragonfly, Mumbai. Mumbai is the best gastro pub of the year. Best Vegetarian Restaurant of the Year, and the award goes to Epitome, Juhu. Best Maharashtrian Cuisine Restaurant of the Year, and the award goes to Saraswati. Best Debutante Restro Bar of the Year, and the award goes to Diablo, Mumbai. Restro Bar with Best Live Events. And the award goes to Tanatan, Juhu. Congratulations to the winners. The Best Biryani Restaurant of the Year award. And the award goes to Jafar Bhai's Delhi Darbar. Best Indian Cuisine Standalone Restaurant of the Year. And it goes to Trescend. Best Multi-Cuisine Restaurant of the Year. And the award goes to Thyme and Fisk, Creative Gourmet Bistro. Best Chef-Led Restaurant of the Year. And the award goes to Ministry of Crab, Mumbai. Casual Dining Restaurant of the Year, and the award goes to Bla Brunch Cafe Plus Bar. Comfort food with some great interiors and ambience. Best Theme-Based Restro Bar, and the award goes to Magna Cafe and Bar. Restaurant serving most authentic South Indian cuisine, and one of my favorites too. The award goes to Banana Leaf. Thank you so much everyone for joining